Cool. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Kivi Kaur, Head of Marketing at New Country Healthcare, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to today's educational webinar, Digestive Enzymes versus Probiotics, Understanding Their Role in Clinical Practice. A very special welcome to our pharmacist colleagues. Today's webinar is designed to provide practical, evidence-based guidance on the appropriate use of digestive enzyme supplementation in everyday practice. I'm delighted to introduce our three distinguished speakers for this event. Our first speaker is Julia Craven, Vice President of Education at Enzymedica. With more than 30 years of experience in the natural health industry, Julia has dedicated much of her career to educating healthcare professionals on digestive health, enzyme therapy, and nutrition. Today, she will present Understanding the Fundamental Difference Between Digestive Enzymes and Probiotics. Our second speaker is Dr. Amro Abubakar, Director of Retail at Burjeel Holdings. With nearly 2 decades of experience across the pharmacy practice, Dr. Abu brings a unique perspective on translating clinical evidence into everyday pharmacy practice. His presentation, Practical Pharmacist Recommendations, will explore the patient scenarios where digestive enzyme supplementation can make a meaningful clinical difference. Our final speaker is Dr. Jamal Khamis, consulting in family medicine at American Hospital Nadal Sheba. Dr. Khamis is both certified in family and general medicine from Norway, Sweden, and United Kingdoms, and has extensive experience in primary care and preventive care. He will share the physician's perspective on evaluating and managing digestive health, focusing on when digestive enzymes offer a clinical advantage. We will conclude the webinar with a live Q&A session, so we encourage you to post your questions in the chat function. Thank you once again for taking the time to join us. We hope you enjoy the session and leave with practical insights. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to invite our first speaker, Julia Craven, to begin. Please join me in welcoming Julia. She's joining us from California, so that's quite early in the morning to make this session productive session.
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate all of you joining, and I appreciate all of the effort and all of other panelists who are going to come in today and help us understand this vital difference between probiotics and enzymes. Probiotics are very popular, but digestive enzymes really, truly do have their place, and that is my life's mission and passion. I discovered about 30 years ago was to learn and train and teach about digestive enzymes. And I have done this through Enzymedica. Enzymedica has been the leader in the US since 1998. We actually really started the enzyme category. There weren't really digestive enzymes, especially of the fermented form, that were available at that time. We had some animal-sourced enzymes that were available, some papaya, some pineapple, but really that fermentation of enzymes is where we get the specificity, which we're going to talk a lot about today, is about enzyme science, which is our specialty. We're going to talk about our TheraBlend technology and really how our science is the engine behind everything that we do at Enzymedica, because that's why we've been number one for so long. Our science creates products that really work for people. It is our mission to make great health easier for everybody. And everyone on this call knows and understands that if your digestion is off base, well, that means that signaling throughout your body via your microbiome is not going to be working well as just not feeling well. When your digestion isn't working, it's certainly one of the things that is signaled the soonest to say, hey, there's a problem in the body. We need to really move forward and get our digestion sorted out. So our quality in science is what leads our way, our carefully sourced ingredients. An enzyme is not an enzyme is not an enzyme. You really, really need to understand the right enzyme for the job and what you are trying to accomplish. It's our innovation that's led us along the way. We understand the enzymes that we use down to the molecular level. We are the only ones who are doing this with our rigorous testing, traceability, and our quality, as well as our facility and our certifications. We are beyond CGMP certification, which is a U.S. certification program for manufacturing. It is how we are qualified. SQF is another certification that's of a very high level. kosher whenever possible. And the enzymes we're going to talk about today are definitely kosher and then non-GMO project verified. We're not on our labels yet, but we will be seeing that very, very soon. For those that are interested, all of our enzymes, though, are non-GMO. So what's the difference? Today, this is how we're all here. What is the difference between digestive enzymes and probiotics? Because this is a point of great confusion for customers, especially those people that are coming in and they're saying, I digestively, I'm not feeling well, I need a probiotic. Well, the thing is that digestive enzymes and probiotics, they're very, very different. What digestive enzymes, and actually what all enzymes are there long strains of amino acids, often up to 1,000 different amino acids in a very, very particular order, and they are folded. And in that folding, they become precise structures that have what we call an active site. This is an actual pocket of energy, basically. And this pocket of energy is what creates the catalytic reaction when it binds to a specific molecule. This catalytic reaction helps to break the food. We're going to talk about food today. So, break the food that we're concerned with so that it can be broken down more easily. Our body creates enzymes, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But this is what enzymes do. They basically act like little scissors and cut things down when we are talking about supplemental enzymes, okay? Now, probiotics, they are not long strains of amino acids. They are beneficial microorganisms. Often they are bacteria, sometimes that they are yeasts, also called spore probiotics, and these are intended to support the gut microbiome. They come in, they help to colonize the area, they create postbiotics or metabolites of these probiotics, which have many, many beneficial features. And one of those beneficial features, one of those sets of postbiotics, is actually enzymes. But the important thing to remember about the enzymes that are created from probiotics or our own microflora is that they are only happening in the lower GI. We need enzyme activity all the way through the digestive system. So, difference here just in how they are built. Digestive enzymes, long strains of amino acids that produce a catalytic reaction. Probiotics come in and help to colonize our microbiome, much like our own microflora. Digestive enzymes act on food. They work right away. Properly formulated digestive enzymes, as in Enzymedica's TheraBlend, work on contact and they support the breakdown of all of the major food groups, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and even fiber. And they work on the digestion of that meal or whatever food they're hitting while they are throughout the digestive system. And they are for food support when we are talking about digestive enzymes specifically. So, digestive enzymes, we can say pretty much work now, whereas probiotics work over time. They work in the interaction with the microbial environment. They support that gut ecology. They are best used over time for an ongoing support or issues, and they do not help to digest food. That's the big difference. And the simplest way to say this with people, for people that you're working with, is that enzymes break down food. Probiotics help to colonize a healthier microbiome. They work together. I call them cousins because digestive enzymes come in and they can actually, if we're breaking down our food better, help to clean up the microbiome so that our probiotics and our own microflora can colonize better and do all of the wonderful things and important signaling that our microbiome does. One of the biggest points of confusion is how are enzymes measured? Many times people think, well, everything should be measured in milligrams. But like probiotics, which are measured in CFU, colony forming units, enzymes are also measured in a different way. They are measured by what we call active units. This is determined by the international standard for measuring enzymes called the Food Chemicals Codex, the FCC. So you can see on our label, all of our products are measured in FCC. They have different abbreviations. This is very easy to find online, or we can provide this for you. But active units means how much does it break down? It has nothing to do with weight like milligrams do. So we want to know how much that enzyme breaks down. We really don't care very much about how that much that enzyme weighs. The top digestive concerns being food intolerances, constipation, gas and bloating, and nutrient deficiencies I've included in digestive concerns that enzymes can all be supportive with. But why do we need enzymes? If our bodies make digestive enzymes, why do we need to supplement with them? And the biggest and the top reason is aging. as we age, we produce less and less and less of our own enzymes, including digestive enzymes. This is often why you will talk with somebody and they'll say around 35, 40 years old, I used to be able to eat all these foods, and now all of a sudden I can't. Now all of a sudden I'm having a problem. So age is just a huge issue, and none of us are getting out of that. Certain medications can suppress digestive enzymes, specifically those medications that suppress gastric secretions. In those gastric secretions, we also have a lot of protein and fat digesting enzymes. We all know the impact of stress on digestion, environmental toxins, downstream antibiotics, GMOs can all impact our digestive enzyme production. And last but not least, food. We might just be eating more food or the wrong kinds of foods that our body can't quite keep up with and produce enough digestive enzymes for. This is what I call the enzyme gap. This is why we have so many people that may be having those top concerns, is because there is a gap in what our body needs versus what our body is able to produce. Now, enzymes in their formulation are incredibly, incredibly specific. All enzymes are specific to the pH range in which they are going to come to what their catalytic reaction is, where they will actually spark. So enzymes are very choosy about what kind of environment do they want to work in. Are they an enzyme that works really, really well in an acid environment? Are they an enzyme that works really well in a more neutral environment? We need to understand that specificity before we start to formulate a product. And it also has to be not just the enzyme for the right pH of the digestive system, but also the right target. So making sure that we're understanding the exact kind of food that needs to be broken down. They are extremely particular. So remembering that that special folded protein has a really unique shape, it needs to fit with that food molecule perfectly. Think about it as a lock and a key. So we need to make sure that it's the right kind of protease to break down protein, that it's the right kind of lipase to break down the kind of fat that we're looking at. And then timing. Timing also matters with digestion. Digestion does not happen immediately. It takes time. And enzymes actually break down at different speeds. So we have what we call right place, right time, right enzyme. We want to get the right enzyme for the job. Another thing is the sourcing of enzymes. And Enzymatica only uses fermented or bacterial source enzymes. We don't use any animal source enzymes. And there are some reasons for that. When we are using these fermented enzymes, we can determine a lot about what they're going to break down, what pH they're going to work in. And these fermented enzymes have the ability to work in a much more broad pH range than animal-sourced enzymes. Animal-sourced enzymes really, really only work lower on down in the GI. So we're not getting a lot of activity in the stomach. With these fermented enzymes, we're getting an earlier breakdown of food. We get what I call kickoff in the stomach. This is where, after chewing, where digestion can really begin is in the stomach with our stomach acid secretions. Guess what? Those animal-sourced enzymes don't work in stomach acid. In fact, they are denatured primarily in stomach acid. There are many more enzymes as far as what is available, so we have more flexible formulation with these fermented enzymes. Of course, they're going to be vegetarian friendly, vegan friendly, more kosher friendly because many of these animal sourced enzymes are also from porcine sources. And then again, very, very targeted and specific activity. This is where Enzymatica really, really excels, is in the specificity of the enzymes that we formulate with. Different foods requiring different enzymes. So when I am teaching about enzymes, I talk about just remember the four food groups. We look at an enzyme label and it can look like it's very confusing, but really just think of the four food groups and then you'll remember the four enzyme families. So carbohydrates require amylases to help to break down those carbohydrates, and fiber, which is closely associated with carbohydrates, require cellulases. So when we think about all of these nutrient-dense foods, all the beautiful whole foods that we're all striving to get more of in our diet, we need plenty of amylases and plenty of cellulases to break down those starches, those carbohydrates, and to help to liberate those plant fibers so the fermentable fibers can actually ferment and become prebiotics, right? Then proteases help to break down proteins. This is vitally important. High protein diets are definitely a trend. Everybody is looking to make sure that they're getting enough protein in your diet. But if you don't have enough endogenous proteases, well, you're not going to be able to break down those high grams of protein that many people are eating in order to liberate those amino acids. And then certainly we all know the importance of healthy fats in our diet. We're seeing ketogenic diets, we're seeing Mediterranean diets. We need plenty of lipases to help to break down all of those beautiful fats so that we can utilize them and make sure that we're supporting cardiovascular health, ocular health, dermal health, not to mention neurological health. We need to be able to break down our fats in order to use them. I always think about how many people are taking omega-3s and yet they may not be breaking down their fats entirely. So that's always a good suggestion to talk with people when they're on high omega programs. Looking at the formulation, we have to look at the digestive system. Obviously, our stomach is highly acidic. This is where a lot of protein, fats, and even dairy gets broken down. The small intestine, again, the pH changes. We go to neutral to slightly alkaline. This again, timing, this is about 2 to 4 hours. This is where the most breakdown and nutrient absorption happens. And then in our large intestine can be slightly acidic to neutral. Again, this is later on down the line. So we see these varying pH ranges. We see these varying different kinds of timing and then varying different kinds of food. This is where Enzymatica excels in our formulation for really making sure that our enzymes are working in the right place, the right pH at the right time during digestion, and of course, the specificity of the right enzyme. This is what we call TheraBlend. This is our TheraBlend technology because there is no one enzyme that's going to work in all of those different pH ranges. We have to choose different enzymes that are going to have catalytic responses in these varying pH ranges. And this is our TheraBlend technology. So using protein as an example, so vitally important, protein digestion. When you see protease TheraBlend on one of the labels, which you'll see in a moment, protease TheraBlend, that's not one protease that's working throughout a wide variety of pH ranges over a long period of time and on lots of different kinds of proteins. That's a team of proteases that's working together. It's not one protease, it's usually 4 to 5 proteases, just depending on the TheraBlend itself, that are coming together so you have complete protein digestion from the stomach to the small intestine all the way to the microbiome and on a varying different kinds of protein. So that could mean animal source protein, dairy source protein, even gluten is a protein our proteases are going to work. But the thing is, with TheraBlend, we don't just do that for protease. We do that for all major food groups. So protease for protein, amylase for carbohydrate, lipases for fats, and even cellulases for fiber. All of them working throughout the complete digestive system on all of the different varying kinds of food groups. Again, remembering the difference here between enzymes and probiotics. Enzymes are going to break down food. Probiotics, they're not going to help you so much with that. Maybe a little bit if you still have some food breakdown going on in the microbiome, but probiotics do not break down food. Only enzymes do that. So what happens if you don't have the right enzyme for the job, that your company doesn't understand the specificity of enzyme? You may have undigested food, which enters into the intestines, which means incomplete food breakdown. Again, you're not getting all of the nutrition out of that food, but also that can lead over time into food sensitivities because if you have incomplete food breakdown for long enough, that can lead to a situation of creating biofilms, inflammation, fungal overgrowths, things of that nature, and increased gut fermentation, which can lead to gas and bloating. So, what is one of the top concerns that we hear about? Constipation. And one of the challenges with constipation is that while taking a traditional laxative or an herbal laxative, every once in a while is okay. It's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but they can be habit forming. And the reason that they're habit forming is because while they are working to move the bowels, they irritate the bowels and can lower bowel tone, meaning that you need to keep taking these products over time in order to have a bowel movement. So, how can digestive enzymes support constipation? Well, when you're getting more complete breakdown of food, sort of that upstream, starting at the beginning of the process, you are going to have better stomach emptying. When you have better stomach emptying, when that stomach is emptying in a timely way, you have better peristalsis throughout the digestive system, supporting the digestive rhythm. This can also be supportive when stomach acid is low, which is quite a bit more common than people know to have low stomach acid, which will slow stomach emptying, and it also can help support fiber tolerance. Many people don't create enough cellulases, so they are unable to break down those fermentable fibers, And when people are suffering from constipation, what often happens is they go and they start taking fiber, but it can actually make the problem worse if they are not producing enough cellulases. And the products we're going to talk about today, Digest Gold, have plenty of cellulases to help with all of this. So the point about this is that enzymes don't force a bowel movement. They support digestion all along the way to help the normal and natural process of food moving through the digestive system, which in the end supports constipation and making sure that there's a normal bowel rhythm. It can be used in conjunction with these traditional laxatives if that's needed, but it's a more holistic, long-term way of looking at supporting healthy bowel movement. Gas and bloating is another huge issue for people. We have gas from fermentation, and that's more like carbohydrates that aren't digesting, and you're getting gas very quickly. And then we have putrefaction gas, and this is usually happening lower on in the GI. This is happening later. Both of them are producing gas. Both of them are very either uncomfortable, unpleasant for yourself or those around you. Again, low stomach acid can be an issue here, and it's not always about adding more acid. It is about making sure that our food is being broke down throughout the digestive system, not just the stomach and the intestines, but also into the microbiome, is where one of the places where our enzymes is active. So again, if we are breaking down our food better, then we're having less fermentation, less putrefaction, less gas, better detoxification, essentially. This is how our bodies work, is to have enzymes to help us to break down our food. So healthier detoxification, less constipation, less gas and bloating, simply from breaking down our food better. And then enzymes for food intolerances, because of the specificity of enzymes, and we understand the importance of that, all of the products we're looking at today help to break down dairy, gluten, soy, beans, and legumes, which can be a huge problem. If someone doesn't have a gallbladder, especially fat digestion is vitally important, and then vegetables and plant fiber. And so you can see that our TheraBlends help to support all of these different most common food intolerances, and even a lot of the food intolerances that are much less common. So those individuals that maybe would want to be able to enjoy, let's say, a little bit of cheese or dairy every once in a while, when we are talking about people that are experiencing very big food intolerances, dietary intervention is first, but enzymes can be helpful if it's a more mild food intolerance. We've talked about nutrient deficiencies. If you can't break down the food, you're not going to be able to enjoy it. And so we get to our products, Digest Gold. This has been America's #1 seller for over 20 years in a row. It's our highest potency formula. Just one capsule in a laboratory environment, not in your body, in a half an hour breaks down 34 grams of fat, 16 grams of protein, and 86 carbs. That's just in a half an hour. It goes on from there. But you can see the very high potency breaking down carbohydrates, proteins, fats, dairy. And then we also have an ingredient called AT Pro, which helps with energy and liberation of energy from food. It's actually binding to the ATP receptor sites in our gut. This is a larger capsule, and it is meant for people who are having issues with their digestion that they're really feeling, or for many of us who love and enjoy food. We love and enjoy cooking. We travel. We are asking a lot of our digestive system every day for those more complex or difficult to digest meals. And then our Digest Gold Plus Probiotics. This is our two-in-one formula. It's actually everything in our traditional Digest Gold without the AT Pro, and instead, this has a microbiome boosting probiotic blend. It's a lower CFU, 1 billion CFU, but it's a very, very stable formula, and it features a specific spore former called Bacillus subtilis DE111. While it does have many lactobacillus species in it, it's the DE111 that's really doing the heavy lifting because, again, it's very, very stable. But the other reason is we use it is because it's one of those enzyme producers. DE111 is a great colonizer, and it produces a lot of enzymes that help overall with the digestive process when it colonizes lower in the GI in the microbiome. So for that individual that's, look, I'm only going to do one thing. I'm only going to take one thing. A digestive enzyme plus a probiotic, a two-in-one capsule can be a fantastic solution. So bringing it all back home, bring it back to the meal. When someone asks, should I take a digestive enzyme or a probiotic? The ideal answer is honestly take both. However, remember that enzymes are acting on food and food breakdown. Probiotics help to support the microbiome directly. If we don't have good food breakdown, we're not going to have good microbiome health. The two do work together, but again, they are functionally very different in how they help to get there. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you again, everybody, for organizing this event. I am going to pass it over to Dr. Amru now.
Thank you, Julie. You have said everything, by the way. Your presentation was so comprehensive that it covers everything. So I thought that that makes my my speech will be less. So today, since you covered the question, it's digestive enzyme or probiotics. For many long hours, I was standing behind the counter. I was standing outside the counter, observing what is happening, and say the moments where a customer he ask about something, and the pharmacist he feel that what should I give him, a probiotic or enzymes? Okay, enzymes are, is it for sick people? I'm not sick. Why you give me enzymes? And people they think that okay, I'm taking probiotics for a long time now, but it's not working with me. And I know one of my friends that he's for a long time he feel that I will be healthy, and then every day he's eating a salad, and he feels that okay, I feel bloated. Then he went to the pharmacy, and then he take probiotics, and then it become worse, and then it repeat, and then we reach to a point we don't know. I'm one of those people. For a long time, we don't know about what is digestive enzyme and what is the act of digestive enzyme in our life. Before we start, that's today the product we're gonna say that it's for Enzymedica. It's for educational purpose and it's not for promotional anyway. I tried to do it in a simple way for all my colleagues. I thought today that why I cannot do a simple video that it summarized the journey and give the directions for all my colleagues that how we can counsel the patient, how we can explain it to them, because it's not the matter that we believe in the enzyme. We believe that it's Enzymedica number one. But if the patient who's coming to us, he doesn't understand what is happening in his body, he will not be convinced. Because many coaches and nutritionists and many people, they talks about what is the healthy meal, the healthy food, but we don't know that is what is being digested in our body, what is not, and why I need to take an enzymes. I hope the video will work and we can see it together.
You eat a healthy meal, a bowl of beans, a fresh salad, some milk in your coffee, and an hour later, you're bloated, gassy, uncomfortable. So you blame the food. But let me tell you something most people get wrong. Sometimes it's not what you ate, it's whether your body could actually break it down. I'm Amr Abu Bakr, and you're watching Pharmastone. Let's go. Here's the truth. Good food and good digestion are two different things. You can eat the cleanest meal on earth, but if your body can't cut it down properly, it doesn't nourish you. It ferments. So before we talk about eating better, we have to talk about digesting better. Think of a digestive enzyme like a pair of scissors. Its whole job is to grab a big molecule of food and snip it into pieces small enough to absorb. Lipase cuts fat. Protease cuts protein. Amylase cuts starch. When you have enough of these scissors, food disappears quietly and gets absorbed. But when you don't, the food slips through, undigested, down into the colon. And there, the bacteria get to it first. They ferment it, and that fermentation, that's the gas. That's the bloating. That's the discomfort. Your food wasn't poisoning you. It just arrived undigested. Now here's the part that surprises people. The foods that trigger it most are often the healthy ones. The beans, the fiber, the onions, the milk. These are exactly the foods our enzymes struggle to fully break down. So eat healthier isn't always the full answer. If you can't digest it, that healthy plate becomes the source of the problem. So what do? We give the body the tool it's missing at the exact moment the food arrives. Lactase for the milk in your coffee. A broad spectrum enzyme for a heavy meal. One match to beans and vegetables. Give the gut the right scissors. right on time, and the fermentation never happens. No undigested food, no gas, no bloating. And timing is everything. You take the enzyme with the first bite of the meal, not after. Match the enzyme to the food that troubles you. That's the whole trick. But let me be honest with you, because this matters. If there is real weight loss, greasy stools, or ongoing pain, that is not a supplement conversation. That's a sign of pancreatic disease, and it needs a doctor and prescription enzymes. So always rule out the alarm signs first. So next time you bloat after a meal, don't just ask, what did I eat wrong? Ask the better question, did my body have the tools to break it down? Because most of the time, that's a problem you can actually solve. Tell me in the comments which food hits you the hardest after eating. Follow PharmaStone and empower minds to understand what's behind every symptom. Stay in grace, stay in health, stay in God's blessing.
I hope you like the video. Okay. Okay, so the questions, as we said, that the question, it's not about anymore about the food. It's not about when to take a probiotic or when to take the enzymes. It's about what I'm eating, because what I'm eating, it defines everything. And I believe that our rule in a pharmacy, it's not to discuss about the product as much we discuss about with people about what they eat. Because Ahmed, when he came, the patient, when he came to me, asked me about, I want to take something that stop the bloating. I'm not able to eat. After I eat with an hour, that I start to feel bloated. After I eat, and when you start to check what he's eating, what he's drinking, and then you discover that our body is not equipped enough to digest some foods. So we will have to use some support from outside to help us to digest those foods. Now, what foods we cannot digest? Simply, the food we cannot digest in our body, three things: to digest carbohydrate, protein, and lipids. Other than this, our body is not designed to digest it. So the normal thing, the normal way to our body to digest fibers and plant-based and beans, milk, is by the microbiome in our colon. It goes fermented, so there is gases, and then it goes out. So you feel the discomfort. So we need to understand this. Then later we can decide on the treatment. If you look to the pictures here, that you will find that the first part where the enzyme trajectory, it works from the mouth until the small intestine. And the microbiome, it works mainly in the colon. So the people, they are coming to complain about, he hold his stomach and then start to feel that I have a pain in my stomach. Actually, it's not a pain in the stomach. And this Dr. Jamal can even direct us more about that. But you need to start ask about the types. What did you eat yesterday? It is the first time you eat this. How many times even you felt this while you are eating this this product or this kind of things? As I said, our body equipped to digest starch, protein, fat, sometimes the lactose with the small quantities, and the colon does the fibers, the beans, the onion by fermentation. I explain it in the video. It's simple. It's when you explain it even to the people in the pharmacy, to the patient, explain it as in the same way as a scissor. It's something that to cut the food. When we cut the food to small pieces, those food, it got absorbed fast and quick. So it doesn't stay. When it doesn't stay, there is no fermentation. Some of the methods that usually the people, even a pharmacist, they thought about it, not even the patient. They said that, okay, I need to be sick to take enzyme. Actually, O2C enzyme help in everyday intolerance, as we said, the dairy products, beans, heavy meals. It's available. Even by now, we should even give it to every and each patient who's complaining about this in the pharmacy. All enzyme supplements are the same. It's not the same. As Julia explained, there is many difference between the strains, the efficacy, and when and how it works. Stomach acid destroy them, and enzyme and probiotic do the same job. They are not the same at all. And by the way, one of the things that destroy the reputation of probiotics, that we used to give probiotic instead of digestive enzyme because we don't know what digestive enzyme do. What things that part of the things that Julia discussed also, why it goes low, why the enzyme goes low. Enzyme goes low because maybe you have sometimes pancreatitis, usually the celiac disease or Crohn's disease for people who are coming to our pharmacy, and that's something that it can open a topic with them. Once they have those disease or inflammation, we have to open a discussion that are you suffering from bloating, gases, intolerance? All of that will open a topic and will cause much counseling about that. Natural decline over the age, it causes a natural decline, and the people who are doing the bypass or gastric section, that's very important. What about the food? What about the medication? The medication has an impact. Which medication I need to take care while I'm counseling our patient about digestive enzyme? H2 blockers and PPI, omeprazole, pantoprazole, anything that lower the acidity in the stomach. It affects the enzyme, metformin and the diabetic products. Anticholinergic and the broad spectrum antibiotic, it kills all the bacteria, so there is no any good bacteria in the gut. And one thing that it could alarm my colleagues here, anticholinergic, it reminds you with anything that it's slow emptying the stomach, that is very famous right now. Yes, exactly. Or that all the product for the GLP-1, it slow the whole system because it works by slow down or keep the food for a long time in the stomach. That's affecting on the enzyme. One of the things that reduce the side effect of those products, Mounjaro, Ozempic, all of those categories, that when you advise the patient to take some of the enzymes, it ease the discomfort and improve the tolerability. Very good. And I have tried it with some patient and they really like it so much. We discuss this. The strains, one of the good things about Enzymedica, about how many strains they have, but the point that probiotics right now, it's not only for bloating or gases. Probiotics, it can be used for many things. It can be used for immunity support. It can be used even for the inflammations, for some sort of eczema. And right now in all the products, if you can see all the product, all the skincare product, many of the ranges now, it has a probiotics, which indicate that probiotic, it's not for gut. It's not only for gases. No, it helps a lot. Because when you reduce the inflammation leakage from the gut, you're affecting everything. Because this inflammation leakage, when it happens, it causes eczema, psoriasis, some dryness. So having also probiotic within our regime of many of the inflammations or the skin condition, it helps a lot. Okay, when we give enzymes and when we give probiotics, usually probiotics, you can give it with anyone. But enzymes, as Julia said, probiotics, I love probiotics. I'm every day, I'm user of probiotics. Enzymes, right now, after I studied enzymes, I figured out that really we are missing a very important point. Most of the people, they don't know that eating the raw plants, salad too much, it's affecting their gut. That eating milk day and night, yes, thinking that the milk is good things, but you need an enzyme. You need some enzyme to help you. And the good thing that which is available in Digestive Gold, that it has everything. The beans, the people that when they eat some beans, they feel discomfort. One of the good things is that, okay, use it. When I will use it, when I use the enzyme, use it directly before the food. So it's 1 tablet, 2 tablets, 3 tablets. It depends on how heavy is the meal. How heavy is the meal, and when you are eating, it define the dose, and you have to define this to your patient. So when you recommend, the point thing that we need to ask about the symptoms, about the type of food we are eating, and what is happening after we eat. Because when you go into details about the food, you figure out that you need to give what. And then match from the pharmacy. If it's the milk, then you have the lacto. If it is other things, then you have the other product. So by the end of now, that if Ahmed is eating, if he's eating salad and eating beans and milk product, does he need probiotic or digestive enzyme? Just know the science, recommend with confidence, and I will leave. Thank you so much for attending, and Dr. Jamal will take us through the science part of it and the medical to understand more about how our body is dealing with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Doctor. Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you all for attending. I'm trying now to share the window. Really, both doctors, they covered everything, so I will just go brief and simple. Can you please tell me if you can see the display now?
Can you put it in the presentation mode?
Yeah, is it now okay?
No, it's not.
Is it okay now?
No, it's not in the presentation mode.
Just 1 minute, please.
Okay, it was visible. It just needs to be a slideshow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now it's okay?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So thank you very much, guys. You covered everything, and I just will go through like simple and brief. So today we want to talk about digestive enzymes and the benefits with the GIT, gastrointestinal symptoms. So when digestive enzymes offer a clinical advantage. So digestive symptoms, it's a common clinical challenge nowadays in the whole world, really. Prevalence, you can see a functional gastrointestinal disorder affect approximately 40% of the global population. Bloating is reported by 16 to 30% of healthy adults and up to 90% of irritable bowel syndrome patients. So food intolerance related symptoms are increasingly recognized in clinical practice. The common symptoms really for indigestion and dyspepsia, we have postprandial bloating, excessive gas, early satiety, fullness, abdominal discomfort, and food-triggered symptoms. The clinical impact on the patients, it will reduce really the quality of life, dietary restriction, and increase healthcare utilization. So the key point here, many symptoms arise from incomplete digestion of nutrients. Physiological basis of digestion. Digestion requires coordinated enzymatic activity. So the nutrient like carbohydrates, it needs enzyme amylase to break down, and the site of action will be in the mouth and small intestine. For the proteins digestion, we need enzyme proteases, and the site of action will be in the stomach and small intestine. For the lipids, we need the enzyme lipase, and the site of action, it is in the small intestine. For the lactose, we need the enzyme lactase. And the site of action, it's in the brush border of small intestine. For the gluten, so there's several enzymes, but mainly we need the pepsin and proteases. And the site of action, it is in the stomach and small intestine. So the digestion, fermentation, access, the sequence of events. It starts like this: by food ingestion, incomplete enzymatic digestion, and undigested substrates enter the colon and will be bacterial fermentation and gas production. And after that, luminal distension, and the symptoms will appear. So the major fermentation products here, they are the hydrogen, methane, carbon dioxide, and short chain fatty acids. So digestive enzymes, the mechanistic basis, primary functions. You can see the enzymes like amylase. The target, it is starch. And for protease, the target is protein. And the lipase enzyme, the target directly on the fat. The lactase enzyme, it's on the lactose. And we have alpha galactosidase, and the target, it is oligosaccharides. So therapeutic goal here, increase the nutrient digestion before microbial fermentation occur. So mechanistic rationale for enzyme supplementation, the proposed mechanism here, that digestive enzymes may enhance nutrient hydrolysis, reduce fermentable substrate delivery to the colon, and by this, it will improve nutrient absorption and decrease intraluminal gas production and improve postprandial comfort. So the conceptual framework, it is by food ingestion, and after that, enzyme activity, and we have efficient digestion, and this will reduce the fermentation and reduce the signs and symptoms. So why enzymes may provide a rapid symptom relief? The digestive enzymes, the action, it's during meal, during nutrient breakdown, and before fermentation begins. This is for the digestive enzymes. While the microbiome-based approach, the probiotic, it requires microbial adaptation, colonization, and community restructuring. So the clinical consequence, the enzymes effect may occur within hours or days rather than week or delay action. Digestive enzymes, BS microbiome modulation. The feature here, the site of action for the digestive enzymes, it works mainly in the upper GIT system, while for probiotic, it's on the colon. So the digestive enzymes, the target is nutrient digestion. With the probiotic, it's gut microbiome. The onset of the digestive enzymes action, it's immediate, while with the probiotic, it's delayed. The mechanism of the digestive enzymes, substrate reduction, while with the microbiome, it's microbial modification. So the important point here, these approaches may be complementary rather than competing. So the enzymes and the microbiome, they are supporting each other rather than competing with each other. So the evidence review for lactase supplementation. So lactose intolerance, the pathophysiology, lactase deficiency, it will cause malabsorption of lactose, and after that, we will have colonic fermentation and the signs and symptoms of gases. So clinical evidence here, the meta-analysis demonstrate reduce abdominal pain, reduce bloating, improve lactose digestion, and improve dairy tolerance. The guideline position here, the lactase replacement remains a standard management strategy with lactose intolerance. Alpha galactosidase and the prevention of gas formation. The target, poorly digested oligosaccharides, which is from the food, beans, lentils, and chickpeas and vegetables. The clinical finding here, the study demonstrates There is a reduction in gas production, reduction in the bloating severity, and improved meal tolerance. Mechanistic significance here reduces fermentation before symptoms develop. The pancreatic enzymes beyond pancreatic disease. Established indication, exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, EPI. The emerging question here, can enzyme supplementation benefit patients without overt EPI, exocrine pancreatic insufficiency? The areas of investigation here, the functional dyspepsia, postprandial distress syndrome, and meal-related bloating. Functional dyspepsia potential rule. The symptoms, early satiety, postprandial fullness, upper abdominal discomfort. The proposed mechanisms here, the enzymes will improve the gastric processing, reduce nutrient-induced symptoms, and will improve digestive efficiency. So digestive enzymes and irritable bowel syndrome related symptoms, the symptoms overlap. Many irritable bowel syndrome patients report meal-triggered bloating, food intolerance, and excess gas. Potential rule here, the enzymes supplementation will reduce the fermentable substrate load and complementary dietary strategies. So which patients are most likely to benefit? The strong evidence, for example, with the lactose intolerance, dairy-related symptoms, positive breath testing, legume-associated symptoms, gas after beans and lentils, for example. Potential benefit here, functional dyspepsia, fullness, early satiety. So, and meal-related bloating. Symptoms consistently linked to eating. Clinical decision-making. We consider the enzymes therapy when symptoms are meal-related, specific nutrient triggers identified, evidence-based enzyme available, structural pathology excluded. To avoid over-reliance when there is alarm symptoms present, inflammatory bowel disease flare, significant weight loss, and if there is gastrointestinal malignancy suspected. My conclusions here, digestive symptoms often originated from incomplete nutrient digestion. The enzymes supplementation addresses symptoms at the digestive stage rather than microbiome modification. So enzymes may provide a faster onset of symptom relief, better than microbiome targeted approach. Strongest evidence exists for lactase and alpha galactosidase. So appropriate patient selection is critical for clinical success. So really, the enzymes and the microbiome both supporting each other and working together, but in a different way. Thanks again for your time, everyone, and we can take questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jamal. Thank you, Dr. Amro. Thank you, Julia. Now we would like to open it up for Q&A. We have received a few questions that I would like to share for the panel. So the first question is for Julia. Julia, the question is, when is the good time to take enzymes and when is a good time to take probiotics and when should they be combined?
Great question. In a perfect world, we would take our digestive enzymes a few minutes prior to the meal, or I think on our packaging say at the beginning of the meal, first bite of food. And the reason for this is very functional. It's that if you think about your stomach like you're holding your hands in a bowl in front of you, you put the enzymes in first, then the food comes down on top of it. That's giving your body the most contact time in your stomach. So it's just slightly better. But the reality is, if you forget, take them in the beginning of the meal. If you really forget, take them at the end of your meal. Because of how we blend with TheraBlend, the pH doesn't matter quite so much. The rule is just take them. Now, probiotics are a different story. Some probiotics are directed to be working on a more empty stomach. Many people suggest them that way. Other people suggest to take them with food. So for our Digest Gold plus probiotics, we're going to want to take it in the same way, just taken ideally at the beginning of the meal. But I would like to open it to Dr. Amru, Dr. Jamal to talk about probiotics and what their suggestion is as a standalone product. Any
Really,
suggestions?
for me, I am advising my patients to take it twice daily, really. It's in between the meals. So he is already prepared for any meal through the whole day. So between the breakfast and we can say the lunch, or as we say, between the two meals before the dinner also. So 2 times daily, and he is prepared all the time for any meal. Thank you.
And for digestive enzymes, people do say, well, if I'm taking it with food, does that mean every time I eat? Look, if that's what you need, if that's what gets you into comfort, which you should feel, then great, take it every time you eat. What I suggest primarily for clinicians is to say take it with your largest meal so that they're getting the most relief. People typically are not eating 3 huge meals a day. And I know that compliance is going to go down if I say take it all the time. So I'm more interested in compliance and regularity. The truth is, if they start to feel better, they're going to take more on their own because there is no toxicity with these enzymes. They're not going to build up. You're not going to get too many. So I suggest take it with your largest meal at the beginning of the meal for enzymes.
Okay. Thank you, Julia. So our next question is for Dr. Jamal. So when a probiotics has a high CFU, does that mean that it has got a higher efficacy?
Really, as Dr. Julia said, I prefer the combination of the digestive enzymes with the microbiome. They are supporting each other and they're working together. So we will cover the upper GIT system at the same time, the colonization. So yeah, so a combination is better. I think there is so many enzymes, and there's so many subtype of enzymes there. And as Dr. Julia said, they can take it really anytime, but preferable before meals and twice daily. Thank you.
Dr. Jamal, the question was more for the probiotics. So if the probiotics has higher count, is that considered more efficacious?
Yes, you are right. If there is more strains there, the efficacy will be also more.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Jamal.
Thank
The
you.
next question is for Dr. Ramro. So, doctor, when a patient walks into a pharmacy, who will be the target patient to prescribe or to suggest, recommend, not prescribe, but to suggest having a probiotic, and what patient symptoms should a pharmacist look at to be able to prescribe or suggest a probiotic?
Okay, that's a great question. But look, let me be honest. Nobody comes to the pharmacy. Usually, we don't think about the highly educated people who comes to say that I need a digestive enzyme or I need probiotics. But usually, people, the normal customers or the normal patient will come in and will say that I need the charcoal tablets, or I need something for bloating. He will say that I need something just simethicone tablets. And by questioning that, once you ask him why you need it, because I have bloating and I have gases, discomfort, and okay, then the questions: did you try anything else? No. What? Tell me about your food. After which meals you are feeling, and then it takes all the way to the digestive enzymes. So usually those type of customer. The second type of customer, the irritable bowel syndrome, the people who are coming to direct complain. They will come to complain that I feel spasm. I feel too much spasm while after eating or at night. After I finish work, I go home, I eat my dinner, and then I start to feel heavy. I start to feel bad. That's the main type of customer that they will require attention. And directly you can, please don't jump to, look, you need digestive enzyme, take digestive enzyme, it will work. No, he will not. He will not take. He will not take it. You need to guide him through the decision. You need to ask him as a gift, not as a sales.
Sorry, Dr. Amar, yeah. Okay, so our next question is
Until, did you hear me?
the last part was breaking out. That's why.
It's
Okay, sorry, Dr. Amar, we are having a bit of an issue with.
I didn't hear you. Maybe the problem it's with me. I don't know, but
It's fine now. It's fine now. There was some slight signal issue.
okay. Okay. Did you hear the full answer, or
We missed the
it
last
was
part.
cut? Okay.
So you
My last part
mentioned that
that
we need to
it's
guide the
don't
patient through.
when somebody exactly don't offer him the solution, or offer him the Enzymedica or Digestive Gold or probiotic as a gift or as a solution, not as a sales. So for better result, for better solutions, to get the maximum comfort you need it, to eat as much as you can without any trouble, you need to use that, because your body doesn't have that 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, thank you. The next question is for Julia. So what kind of digestive enzymes can be given to children under 10 years of age to have full benefit from from the foods they are eating?
Mhm.
Or should probiotics be the only one that should be given to children?
That's a fantastic question. So first, I wanted to say that what I'm about to say about digestive enzymes are from my personal experience, and not as much from a clinical point of view, just because there isn't as much human scientific research on children. That said, in the US, we've worked with children a lot, even on the autism spectrum, because there are such huge amounts of food intolerances. And in addition to dietary intervention being the most important thing, digestive enzymes have been used. What we talked about today with Digest Gold, in my opinion, would be way too powerful for a child. And so, and enzymes are safe, digestive enzymes are safe for children, but that dosage in that capsule would be way, way, way too powerful for a child. Not because it's dangerous, but because children typically don't need that much support. So, one of the ways that you can do dosage with children is actually to open the capsule, because realistically, Digest Gold and Digest Gold plus probiotics are very large capsules, and most children are not going to be able to do that, and it may not even be safe to swallow a pill that's large. So what you can do is open the capsule, and I would say take half to, even if you can manage a quarter, a sprinkling of the digestive enzymes. You put it on a small amount of food. So yogurt, cottage cheese, if you are not, you can do the dairy-free options as well, because often dairy is the issue. I have used things like applesauce, peanut butter. I've even snuck them into chocolate sauce, maple syrup, jelly, anything that is a little bit creamy that you can stir quickly, and then do a couple of tablespoons of that. The reason that you don't just simply sprinkle it on top of food is that our enzymes are so active, they work so quickly, they will actually begin to break down the food within a few minutes, and the child will see that and they will never eat again. So you do it in a small amount of food at the beginning of the meal. Give them a couple of tablespoons. This is not just great for children. I also took care of both of my aging parents, ended up hand feeding them, and this works also for anybody. So they are safe. That said, I love probiotics for children. They are always going to be a safe bet. They are always going to be a great way to support the microbiome, which is not just supporting digestion, but it's supporting a really healthy setup for the immune system in life. It's supporting that gut-brain connection as well, which is also so vitally important. So I do love both for children. But if the issue for children is a food intolerance, really painful distension, constipation, which is very, very common, I would suggest breaking open. It's just a capsule. You open it really quickly, a little sprinkling of Digest Gold. You can put the capsule right back. You sneak it in something delicious, and that way the child never knows. Because if they do know, if you've had children or stepchildren, which I have, they understand the trickery. They will never trust you again. And again, proper hydration, good quality food, and encouraging, and this is for all of us, chew your food. Take a moment to eat. When we rush, we aren't producing enough salivary amylases. We aren't producing enough gastric secretions. We all eat on the go. Our kids are eating really fast. Slow down, chew your food. It's a lifestyle thing as well.
Thank you, Julia. So the next question is for Dr. Amro. Do enzymes work on food allergies? For example, if someone is allergic to milk and drinks milk, would the enzyme work on them?
I would like to understand the question more. Did enzyme work for allergy?
Food allergies. So if someone is allergic to milk and
I don't think so, because we need to understand one important thing, because milk doesn't only have lactose. Lactose is the sugar only, but it has also the casein, which is the protein in the milk. And the casein, when it comes from the cows or anything, it's a very big and strong molecule that it's also hard to digest. Some people, most of the people, when they have an allergy to the casein, not only the lactose. So no, it won't help that much if they have an allergy from casein.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Amro. Julia, do you have any perspective to add to this?
Certainly. So sometimes there's a need for clarification between an intolerance and an allergy. An intolerance, sometimes also called a sensitivity, is just we don't have quite enough enzymes endogenously to break down that dairy, which, as Dr. Amu pointed out, it's not just the lactose, which the enzyme for that is lactase, the milk sugar, but it's also the casein, which is a protein, and protease TheraBlend helps to break that down. So if it's an intolerance or a sensitivity, which is usually within the digestive system, gas, bloating, can even be some really uncomfortable distension, diarrhea. Enzymes are a good choice after dietary intervention to either allow a little bit of food freedom, to be able to enjoy that cheese every once in a while, a little bit of dairy. Again, getting the food out of the diet is always the first choice when that's possible. If we are talking about an allergy, we are talking about an immune response. And this is where it becomes very serious to take the food out of the diet. That said, cross-contamination happens. We get cross-contamination with gluten, we get cross-contamination with dairy. You can think that you're going to a restaurant getting something dairy-free, but they put just a little bit of butter in there. And if you have a true allergy, that can be a problem. The way enzymes can be helpful in instances of cross-contamination is the enzyme, specifically the proteases for casein, that protease TheraBlend, can break down those proteins to give you a little bit of extra support in elimination and breakdown of those proteins. It does not change the immunological response. It simply helps to soften the impact on the body so the body can handle it a little bit better. Again, with a true allergy, dietary intervention is always number one. It's very, very serious. But if there's accidental cross-contamination, so someone in that situation is going out to eat and is choosing the right restaurant and is giving all the right direction when they order, they still might have a little problems. Enzymes can be that little bit of extra help and protection. Not a cheat code, just a little bit of extra support.
Yeah. Thank you, Julia. The next question is directed to Dr. Jamal. Dr. Jamal, how beneficial are digestive enzymes for people with acidity taking PPIs? How often to take the digestive enzyme in this case?
Just want to mention one thing here. It's very important to educate the patient and inform the patient exactly what he has, and accordingly we'll give him the probiotic. And in the daily practice, we are doing a checkup because so many patients, they have GIT problems like dyspepsia, indigestion, but the cause is completely different from case to case, like irritable bowel syndrome, gluten intolerance, we have dyspepsia, we have, as you said now, like GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, or gastritis, or hiatus hernia, or whatever. But I can tell you, in all these cases, the probiotic, it's important, and even the digestive enzymes, the combination is very important for all of them. I can tell you, I gave to my patients, and all of them, they got the benefit, unless there is contraindication. Like we said, if there is like an inflammatory disease like Crohn's, celiac disease, or I mean Crohn's or ulcerative colitis or cancers or whatever. These are different because even the pathway for management is completely different. But the benefit of digestive enzymes plus probiotic, in all cases, it's okay. And I got really a positive response from the patients.
Okay, I will take 3 more questions. So the next question is for Julia again. Is it safe for pregnant women to take probiotic or digestive enzymes, and what should the dosage be?
It is actually a wonderful indication for pregnant women because so often in pregnancy, the intestines are basically compacted, and often what will happen in this situation is either some indigestion, heartburn will come up just simply because the intestines and the stomach is being pressed upon, or constipation is very, very common, and digestive enzymes can be very helpful in these events. And so both digestive enzymes and probiotics, and I would suggest the Digest Gold. If there is a dairy intolerance, which is so incredibly common, I would indeed go with the lacto product. And then I love the Probio, which is the probiotics, again, partially because of the stability of that item. It's a very, very stable probiotic, which we always want to make sure of. So our probiotics are arriving alive and can thrive. But again, it has that Bacillus subtilis DE111, which is an enzyme creating machine. It creates a lot of enzymes as postbiotics. So the short answer is yes, safe, and then very supportive, especially for constipation in pregnancy, where we really wouldn't want to be taking a traditional laxative for any period of time, or any of those herbs like senna or Cascara sagrada, which are really high alkaloid. We wouldn't want pregnant women taking those for any period of time either. So I think that they're a lovely choice.
And also, Julia, there is a product from Enzyme Medica which is Digest Pregnancy, which is
Beautiful, you
available.
have that. Great, great. I didn't realize that you all had that. So that's perfect. There you go.
Okay, our next question is for Dr. Ramro, and then one last question for Dr. Jamal. So, Dr. Ramro, the question is, which is better if patient suffers from diarrhea, and a digestive enzyme or a probiotic?
I think they should have answered us after all of that discussion about that. Okay, diarrhea. Let's probiotics. Digestive enzyme will not do anything here because we said that the digestive enzyme will work in the upper side. It will not work downside. So probiotics will work, and there is some strains specifically. It works for traveler diarrheas. But we need to check what is the reason behind this. It will work definitely. The probiotics will work by increasing the good bacteria. So the good bacteria will work by attacking the bad bacteria or enriching this. So by the end, you will have the benefits of having the probiotics. But I don't want people, my colleagues, that someone he has diarrhea, we will give him a probiotics. That's not the solution. That's something you give it as an adjuvant therapy or support treatment. But you have to go with the pharmacological things that it depends on the case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Next question is for Dr. Jamal, and I think that would be our last question for the evening. So, Dr. Jamal, are probiotics safe for patients with cardiac issues?
Really, it's not direct treatment for cardiac issues because, you know, cardiovascular system, completely different system, and treatments completely different. But if you say probiotic, it's good for everyone. If the patient has cardiac problem or doesn't have cardiac problem, so it is good for the digestion. That's right. It will help him. It will make him less effort with the digestion. So I think it's good. and it's very beneficial. And I myself, I am giving to the cardiovascular system, and even for the diabetic patients, it will help them. It will ease their life. But
Great.
but indirectly, as we said, not direct effect on the cardiovascular or diabetes or whatever. But it's indirectly, it will ease their life, and just and the stomach and GIT system will work better and easy. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for the panel for answering the questions and fantastic presentations. I think with this, we're close to closing the evening. If any of the panelists have any thoughts to add, that would be great to hear from you before we call it an evening. So any concluding thoughts from Julia, Dr. Amro, and Dr. Jamal?
Just one thing, again, I want to highlight this point really. It's very important to educate the patient about the probiotic and the digestive enzymes and how is this combination working better than just probiotic, because most of the patients, they don't know that really. When we educate them also about their disease and how this is beneficial for them, it will ease the gastrointestinal symptoms. So the patient will be more satisfied and the compliance will be better.
Thank you, Dr. Jamal. Dr. Amro?
That's it, Dr. Jamal. He said it. It's all about what to say and investigating the case. It's not about selling a product. It's about counseling or giving the gift.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Amro. Julia, anything from your side you'd like to add?
I concur. It's all about talking with your client, talking about what is going on for them, also to empower them so that they're more aware of their own health and can make their better health decisions in their life. And as far as digestive enzymes and probiotics, what person cannot benefit from better nutrient bioavailability, a healthier microbiome, and better gas, constipation, and things of that nature? That's pretty much everybody. After the pharmacological and dietary interventions have been made and suggested. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your time. I think with this, we will close today's session. We've had good, strong participation, so really appreciate everyone's efforts who have been here for us, with us today. Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.